Hey folks, welcome to the channel. You saw the title. I've got one from an off-road series. Here's how those things work too. One, of course, if you're new to the channel, they're not music reactions. They're just fun little things that I add once in a while, usually post them in the afternoons. When I grab them off of YouTube, I'll put them on my desktop, my laptop, and sometimes they'll sit there for a month. So even though at first I'm like, oh, this would be cool to do, I'll watch maybe 10 or 20 seconds of it. By the time I get around to doing it, I've forgotten what it's about because I don't react to them generally immediately. It takes a while for me to get to them. So this one is on the space shuttle. I'm wearing my James Webb Space Telescope hat because I love this kind of stuff. But I know I liked it enough when I first saw part of it. And these are all shorts. They're very quick.
45 seconds into the flight, something fascinating happens. The space shuttle exceeds the speed of sound, and the sound of those rocket engines can no longer reach the astronauts.
So you don't hear those rocket motors that much anymore behind you. But now you hear the air rushing down the side of the shuttle because you're in the thickest part of the atmosphere, and it sounds like a train howling through a tunnel when that air is going across the rough blankets and tiles on the outside of the shuttle.
And as the space shuttle races higher and higher into the atmosphere, and the air gets progressively thinner, even this sound begins to dwindle away.
For the last 15-20 seconds of first stage, it's just a quiet, very rough ride because you're still on the solid rocket boosters.
And it will get even quieter as the solid rocket boosters reach the end of their fuel supply 2 minutes into the flight.
Wow. That fuel supply only lasts 2 minutes. But that gets them, well, I don't know if the space shuttle didn't reach escape velocity. Escape velocity, I think, is something like 17,000 miles per hour because that's the speed or the velocity. Because velocity, I think, includes direction versus just speed. It's like speed and direction is velocity, I think. But the Earth's gravity, if you're not going fast enough, you can't escape Earth's gravity. And that speed is 17,000 miles an hour, so you need enough fuel to propel whatever you're shooting into space, in this case the space shuttle, to get to that speed. I don't think the space shuttle reached that, and there wouldn't have been a need for it because I think the space shuttle, I don't know if it did geosynchronous orbit. Now, I guess it wouldn't have, so maybe that didn't matter as much, but there was an orbit that they wanted it to follow because it was always based on some kind of research. I'm guessing, but the fact, what do you say, like, was it 45 seconds into the flight they're breaking the sound barrier? And I thought it would have been faster than that because I read years ago that the tower that the space shuttle was attached to on the launch pad was 300 feet high. And by the time the shuttle was clearing it, it was already doing 100 miles an hour. That kind of acceleration with that kind of weight is just beyond my comprehension. So I would have thought it would have been breaking the sound barrier sooner. But then I love that part where once you get into the thinner part of the atmosphere, the air is still rushing past you at such a speed that that's what you hear. And then the final 15 seconds of the fuel tank before it's completely spent of fuel, there's very little oxygen or air up there, so it's calm from that perspective, but you're still feeling the vibrations from the fuel. And that's just fascinating. It's these rockets are just controlled explosions, basically just gradually letting it out. So I love this stuff. It's nerd central, and I love it. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. That's just spice to the channel. We're trying to be smart around here. Have a great day. I'll see you in another video, and keep rocking the country.